And what a good Monday to start off here if we take a look here. So, one of the things you want to do, and most people, a lot of traders have this problem, and what it is that they look, when we have a VIX that's up 40, or up to high 30s as we've had it. One of the problems people have is they'll do all this research over the weekend, right? And then they come in and say, like, here's my plan, and here's the ones that I want to buy, and here's this. Well, Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And so one of the things you want to do is when you have a VIX this high, when you're doing research, is we want to have a plan for if the market gaps up significantly, I do this. If the market gaps down significantly, I do this. If the market opens flat, we'll be looking to do this, right? Because if you came in with your research and you get blasted to the downside and you're like, my support level's gone, right? So there's a certain sequence that you want to go looking for. So first of all, here we got the SPY, and here, if you look at the daily upper left, okay, what happened? So we gapped down, but then we started rallying back, right? And so what that means is if you go to the upper middle, remember we had an outside week last week, right? Now, if we're going to do that again, this is what it would look like until you get a reversal against you. Gap down and now back into the old previous range. You're going to have outside week. Now, obviously, a lot of week left going on with this, but there's definitely a sequence to look at. So if you look at the 60 SPY down lower middle, you'll see it gaps down. What that means is it took out this low. That was a reversal of the close 60 on Friday. But then here, when we take this out, going back up, that's another reversal. That's called a 2-2 reversal, right? So this is lower than that, and then this reverses that back up. And so if you go to a 15-minute, you're going to see this. Here, you're going to see the same thing, right? This is lower than that, which makes it a down. This is up. That's your reversal. This is another type of reversal that we look for. Here, the inside bar pokes down, right? Because this was an equilibrium. They tried to jam them down here, stopped out these guys, and then boom, two back up here, right? So to make it even simpler, if you just went and waited for a 30-minute, you're going to see this, what's just happened. You see this inside bar? That's an equilibrium. If they were going to try and reverse this thing, it would have taken this out. That's not what happened. It went inside 30 to the upside. So now we've got a new 60. And so if we're going to go back down, one of the things we'd be looking for is, can you make a lower low on the 60? Right? Or can you go back inside here and then take that back out, right, for another type of reversal? So right now we've got a new 60. And when you have the VIX this high, you want to be paying attention to the new 60. It's like a new day, right? Because some of this move here, and we're fortunate enough last week to have a lot of movement, with the high VIX. But when you have the VIX this high, the 60-minute is going to be more like a daily, right? So we want to be aware of that. So when I say there's a sequence, the market gaps down and starts rallying back, all right? Some people will say, I want to try and buy the most oversold for a bounce. That's a wrong answer. What you want to do is you want to go to the guys who are jammed. And immediately that was anybody taking out yesterday's highs, right? And the reason for that is that they got what they wanted. If you're short, you got what you wanted. The market tanked, right, on the opening. But if you start rallying back, all right, and taking out the highs, we're going to stop them out. You're going to go T-Doc here. And you're going to see this in the upper left. Let me shrink that down a little bit for you. Here, all right? So as soon as it takes that out, right, here, 179.50, right, now you're up 185.50, you're going to take that out, and we're looking to take this out as a target, 187.67, for these two to form an outside bar of this. But as soon as it takes that, you can be on this thing. Now, right now, you're inside on the 30 over here, on the lower left. Inside, so we'll see what happens if we can take this out. This is directional because it goes up, then sideways here. We prefer types of reversals, but this is where we would be looking to add when you get here, right? And if you look here on the lower left again on the 30, and you see the higher high, then the lower low, boom, there's your reversal back up over 182.28, and you're in. So there's a lot of good ways to get in on a lot of this stuff. You had W, it's almost too much to talk about today, but W, you're going to see that. Here, upper left, as soon as it takes this out is where they jam them, right? Over 189, trading 196, traded up to 200, right? And now it's also in the upper middle. It was an inside week. That equilibrium broke too. 189er right there. Boom, you can get more. So there's a lot of ways in on this kind of stuff. We have QDEL here. Now this is a little fast, and that's okay. Sometimes that's going to happen. But if you go to the upper middle, you're going to see the inside weak right there as it breaks to the upside. This comes down, right? This is actually not, but this is an inside bar to the upside. And what that's doing is trying to help out the monthly. Monthly's green, so we always have the daily, weekly, monthly. And like I said, when you're down, have this much, you have this much volatility still baked in. It's like oftentimes the 60 takes over, and it's a Monday, right? So what that means is that the daily and the weekly bar are going to have the same opening, right, and close today. The 60 will keep changing, and you can see on this in the inside 30 in the lower left. Here's a way in QDEL right there. Inside bar to the upside takes it out over 197.10. If we go to Tesla, now here's another thing you can look for. Okay, Tesla. So when the market gap's down, if you look at the monthly in the lower middle, you're going to see it was still inside month to the upside when we opened today, right? So even though it opens lower, as soon as it starts rallying back, it's green on all major time frames. Let's get a 60 for you. It's green on all major time frames. So it's coming back up, right? That's what we look for. It's green on the week, it's green on the day, green on the 60 here. And then if you go to a 15-minute chart, you're going to see this, right? In here, that same pattern I showed you in the S&P Spider. Inside bar, pokes down, boom, there's your reversal right here. Now, comes up, does this inside bar to the downside, but then here's your re-entry, because we want to have corrective activity, right? This took out this low, and then this took out this high for the reversal back up. And the reason we like that is because we know anybody who's trying to short this thing is going to be stopped against all this stuff. And so when you combine that with everything else green, you got natural buyers in there. You think that's going to work? Every reason to believe that's going to work, and that took that out at 948.88, trading 964. Not bad, and still going. Meli, M-E-L-I, Mercado Libre, here. That's not right. There we go. There we go. You can see this. And this thing was already starting. If you go to the monthly, this thing didn't even budge. Last week, didn't even budge. So you're still, let's got to switch this. You're going into the highs. There you go. All right, so you're going into the highs. And so as soon as this thing took out 980, you're in. Now it's at 915, and you can see how powerful this can be. Also, UPS does this. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough time to get around on all this stuff. UPS also goes outside day and coming up in here. And once again, if you go to lower middle, you're gonna see it was still an inside bar to the upside on the monthly. And so when it started rallying, all the time frames were green, right? And since we know outside bars exist, and this daily starts going, that's where it's going. It's going to take that out because we know that exists. We've got so many to go through on here, but I'm trying to get through what time we got here. Okay, DraftKings. Boom, here. As soon as it takes out yesterday's high, all right? And it also was an outside bar, but even if you waited for this, the 38.39, that's not bad, but $3 or something like that. Peloton, more pandemic stuff still coming up. And we'll see how that goes. I think we had a nice 30 in there. Here, down into here, but now coming in a little bit. You can see as soon as it takes this out, you're green on all time frames, and that's what we're looking for. DXCM. And DXCM, once again, outside bar. You can take it. You can actually take these as soon as they start coming back in. But like I said, even if you're just waiting for these things to take out yesterday's highs, iRobot. Boom, and that was on a gapper, so a little tougher, but you can see here if you go to the 15. Here, if you wait for the corrective activity, and here you got something out of it. Now it's starting to come around. AVLR. And AVLR here, once again in the upper middle, you're going to see this. It takes out the highs, takes out the lows, and it's closing on the high of the week. So this was real simple. This is in my weekend video, and as soon as it takes out 106.02, now trading 111.37. So you can see how good this works when you know what to look for. If you go to BAND, and there's a whole bunch running, Tesla's still going. The band. So the band coming in here, that's good. So the band, you can see this here. As soon as it took this out, boom, 121.11. Now trading 126.34, and we'll see they're going to try and bring this in a little bit, and we'll see on the 30 if you can get this. Remember, when this closes out at the top of the hour, you want to see if you can take this high out and band. If we go to Coop takes out yesterday's highs here. 226.97, trading 233.23 as I speak. And so we'll see now. You can see on the 30 it comes in again. So when this 30 closes out, you've got your corrective activity. And we can look for things taking this right here. If we go back to the SPY, just want to keep an eye on it. SPY on our 60. Right now it's trying to just keep going to the highs. They're still trying to take out the highs, right? So that's a good thing for this long stuff. You've got NVAX doing this here, up in the upper middle. You can see that inside week, boom, inside week to the upside, and that was right away over 48.43. And you can see in the upper left, the inside day break was 45.76. Now we had some harrowing moments in there, but that's how you do it. And you can see, look, trying to go here. See if we got corrective activity on 15er. Here, corrective activity. Takes that low, takes that high, you're in right there, boom. And then let it rock because you got all the time frames going your way. You also had this in the crude UCO come back. And here's another one of those things you look for. Taking out highs, taking out lows. Hammer, counter, shooter. So there's a shooting star, then the hammer, boom. When it takes this out, we're looking on the lower left, we're looking to take that out because these are an outside bar of that. If you go to a 60-minute and slow it down, right? Easy. Look at this. It gaps down, right? Which is we call that a 2 down scenario. The reversal's right here. Piece of cake. Boom. Right there in the crude over 24.37. You can go look at the futures if you like. Okay, we're on out of time. Now, we also want to look for things on the downside if we start to roll over. Right now, we haven't, but if we have a reversal, anything staying near the lows, and you can see in the lower middle, you can see BIIB. Inside month to the downside after last week and up in the middle, inside week to the downside. So we want to stay on anything that's staying below yesterday's lows. BIIB coming up a little bit. When we also had Lilly, we had some of the old school drugs trying to stay down here, and you can see this in the lower middle. That's below last month's lows. So anytime we can stay red below all these lows is something we're going to want to know about right now. It's stuck here in the 60 lower right, but you're going to see a theme there too. Bristol Myers is below last month's lows, yesterday's lows. So we can look for these sell-offs on these 60s down. And here, Merck trying to hold on. Now they're coming back because the market's still coming back. But these are the things you want to be keeping an eye on should that 60 roll back and give us a reversal. LMT is staying down below all its lows, right? Now you can watch that 60 in here. Home Depot here. And we have Momo for one. Momo now trying to cook the inside 60. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is still on the long side because we don't have any reversals. We're still good. And like I said, if you're going to go outside week, counters outside week here, that'll do it. All right, but we're running out of time, so that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith with the Strat Time Report. Dismissing the Black Channel here, TikToker.